And you have just crossed the line. End of debate. Report to the cargo bay and remain there until this is over. Is that understood?
So exciting.
Got the sinusitis.
Well, please send that to me.
I will, darling. I thought that was the version with Miss Kaya. You know, look sexy, talk dirty.
If it's not too big of a file,
yeah,
I'm going to find Booby a song. Miss Honey, remember when we went to Pride? Oh my God, I think that you were there, and they played Janet Jackson. They played, first of all, Janet performed, but also they played that fierce Janet Jackson mix.
Yeah,
where she's kind of like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm gonna do to you. She's like very breathy.
Is that Throb?
It's not Throb.
Is that If?
It's not If.
And it's not So Excited?
It's not So Excited, but honey,
and it ain't Feedback.
It's not Feedback. No, it's not Feedback.
Oh.
But it is a fierce, honey. It's one of the fierce. What song is it?
To you.
I don't know what I'm gonna do to you.
This is sick.
And then she's like very like it's just incredibly
fierce. Is it called
fierce.
This Is Sick?
It's not called This Is Sick.
God damn.
But I'm gonna find you have it because you found it literally
sexy, talk dirty.
The next day, and you gave it to us. You gave it to me.
I'm sure I have it. You know what? I have actually a separate folder on my hard drive somewhere. Look at the abs, girl. Quarantine ain't stopping you, bitch.
Honey, this is not the T-shirt, honey. I'm just serving this T-shirt up, girl.
Oh, right, but
I'm
got
serving
the abs.
your body. Yeah.
I don't know what I'm gonna do to you.
Wow.
I don't know what I'm gonna do to you.
I have a separate folder on my hard drive that's called Gaga, Madonna, Janet, because I have so much of those three. I had to do like a separate. They were taking up so much room. I had to get them off my computer.
Oh my goodness.
So I just dip in when I want one of the icons, you know.
It's probably in there, but I'll send it to both of you if it's not too large of a file. Because, honey, it's among the greatest Janet remixes ever.
Really?
Yeah, I listened to it the other day and jammed out. In my, unfortunately, I can't move that much.
Was it a Peter Rohoff remix?
I know that, you went on a mad search and called every DJ you knew.
Because I remember this, and I know someone gave it to me, and I do have it.
And something about...
Oh, goddamn. I don't know what
I don't remember.
Well, anyway.
Yeah.
Do you know where Janet is really, really, really super popular?
Where?
The Alpha Quadrant.
And the Delta Quadrant.
Quadrant.
Miss Booby trying to get sassy.
The Delta Work Quadrant.
The Delta Work Quadrant.
Yes.
Now, in case you haven't figured it out, this is an episode of Fire Chakotay. And how would they have figured it out? We haven't mentioned Star Trek.
We've only mentioned Janet, Gaga, and Madonna, so you know that this is a gay podcast.
Right. You know that, Gaga's part Ferengi, so...
Oh, my God.
If those three were Star Trek aliens, what would they be?
Well, let's see. Well, Gaga's a Ferengi.
Madonna's a Romulan.
And...
Sure? Yeah.
And Janet...
She's a Bolian.
I think, you know what? I think Janet's a Klingon.
Yeah.
But because she's rough and tough with those Afro puffs.
Yeah.
But she is kind of darker skinned.
Kind of.
And Klingons tend to be darker skinned.
Honey, Klingon lives matter, bitch.
Klingon lives matter.
They do matter.
KLM.
Hey. So this is Fire Chakotay. I am Mike Diamond.
This is Miss Matinga.
This is Booby.
And today we are going to do another double dip episode. 2 episodes of Star Trek Voyager.
For the price of one.
For the price of one. 2 episodes coming under the lens today. And it's
one incredibly tired and one definitely good. That was so weird. Did you hear that?
What you just said? Yeah.
No, but you seem to have a delay. A little bit of a delay.
I have a disability, darling.
Oh.
I'm slightly off in the time-space continuum, but I always have been.
That's it.
I just want to say it's 10,000 goddamn degrees in here. I am gasping, and this lighting isn't helping. So if I sound overheated and look sweaty, deal with it.
Can I share? Booby, are you overheated?
No, not at all.
Do you have central air?
Yes.
Central air is very quiet. Can I share a little secret that I haven't shared with you guys?
Is it something I'm going to have to edit out?
No.
Is it Star Trek related?
No.
Is it Janet related?
No.
Well, then by all means, share.
that I have had both my AC and my fan on for every single homework and pandemic shoot and Fire Chakotay shoot. You guys can't hear it because I'm on a microphone and using earphones. You could probably turn on your AC mic and it will not. You won't hear it.
Do you know what? It is on 2 rooms over. Notice I'm in a different location today. I don't want to turn it off because my kitty cat, I cannot have her overheating at all.
No.
So
I have it on and I have a fan on, but I'm way on the other side of the house.
Because,
It's
honey,
okay.
I would be a sweaty mess by the end. You know me. I'm the sweater. They called me the sweater.
The
I'm the
sweater.
cable knit sweater.
The cable
Sweater
knit
weather.
darling.
Sweater weather.
Sweater weather. It's
Sweater
sweater
weather,
weather. It is
darling.
not sweater weather.
It is not. Also, it doesn't help that 2 minutes before we started, I ran outside to water some plants, and it's 100 degrees out right now,
Yeah.
and it's fierce. But you know what isn't fierce? The episode Miss Booby picked to talk about.
Oh my God.
I loved it. False prophets.
Yeah, okay, Miss Booby. So since this was your pick, and I want to allocate 1/4 of this episode to that particular pick, why don't you give the synopsis of what you made us sit through?
You
Well,
party animal.
There is a planet. Actually, Voyager is traveling through space, and they get a signal of a wormhole.
A wormhole.
A wormhole, and then they get a signal on a planet of a replicator, of not a replicator of stars of Federation
Like a signature.
right? And so they go and check it out, and it turns out to be a replicator that is being used by 2 Ferengi who are pretending to be legendary prophesied false
Legendary
prophets,
Yeah.
Godlike. Yeah.
godlike beings, because they have the power to use the replicator.
And this
And
is a Bronze Age like planet.
Exactly.
Right. Now, usually
And,
Voyager
and
would not do that. Yeah.
Right. And they're finagling money out of all the or that's not the word.
They're Ferengi-ing money.
Ferengiing money off of the people that live there. And one of the Ferengi is Beverly Leslie. Or
Yes, Leslie
Jordan.
Jordan.
Yeah, I knew that voice when I heard it.
Whose usual effervescence and lovely LGBTQI Mahu two-spirit energy is being sort of kind of dampened under all of the Ferengi makeup.
Right.
It's Leslie Jordan, but it's not the typical Leslie Jordan that you hope for.
Right.
Like, Miss Leslie Jordan, she will beat the mug. But honey, somebody beat that mug.
Beat it with the teeth.
Woo, honey, it looks like she got mugged and beat.
Trust, bitch.
I want to say though that this just a little nerd fact that this is a sequel episode to the STNG episode The Price that had these 2 very same Ferengi on the other side of that wormhole, and that's when they get dragged in.
Same actors.
Same actors.
All right.
This is a sequel episode. And this is also season 3, episode 5. It premiered October 2nd of 1996. It's the 47th filmed episode of Star Trek Voyager.
TNG meaning the next generation.
Yes, next gen. But this is a sequel, like a true sequel.
But you don't have to have seen that to see this.
No.
Right.
No.
This stands on its own. Question for you, unrelated to Star Trek. What is the I in LGBTQI?
Intersex.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Honey, it's getting crazy out there.
With the letters?
With the letters, honey.
Well, we know about quilt bag.
Quilt bag. Trying my best.
So LGBTQ is quilt bag?
Quilt bag. Queer, undecided, intersex, lesbian, trans, bi, asexual, gay.
Gay. But
Quilt
that does
bag.
not mention...
It could also be an ally.
It also doesn't mention two-spirit or Mahu or non-binary.
What's Mahu?
It's a type of flounder usually caught off of the Pacific.
Mahu.
Mahu is kind of like Polynesian Eastern Islander. Titanui.
Like, you know,
like
we have
non-binary.
You know, Sociopath, our listener for homework.
Yeah, Miss Sociopath.
She's probably Mahu. Okay.
She might be Mahu, or she might just be straight up gay. But she might, for sure, she's Tita.
She's hidden the wee mahu mahu. She's
I'm
messy mahu.
confused.
Messy mahu. But so Beverly Leslie and some other actor portraying basically Ferengi televangelist scam artists to these po-ass Bronze Age people. And Voyager swoops in to get the replicator. And Chakotay and Paris go down looking like they just stepped out of fucking dress barn. What the hell are they wearing?
Or Mew Mew.
Mew Mew, Mahu Mahu.
Mew Mew, rhinestone shoes. But what is that?
Mew Mew, yeah, yeah.
That's a song.
Mew Mew, yeah, yeah.
That's new. But I want to say, we are way across the galaxy.
Yup.
Right.
We are way across the galaxy, and we come across a planet of humanoids that look exactly like human beings. We couldn't even paint some freckles on these people. Like, they are just they're flat out human.
They're people.
And then they're just people. And then also, like, right at the beginning, they send Miss Tom Paris and Robert Beltran, sexy and lovely Robert Beltran, down to do a reconnaissance on this planet. And they figure out that it's Ferengi. When the Ferengi come out, they have made themselves out to be like these godlike, characters. Honey, some gratuitous T&A.
The
I
boobies.
saw.
Like, and then like there's a shot from like, yes, the underneath.
They
It's
give you like
beautiful.
raw underboob.
They're really beautiful. And honey, any 14-year-old straight boy would have been like, yes, but so gratuitous.
I was gagging.
The underboob I rewound it because I was like, I gotta see that underboob again.
What is? They get them from Breasts for Queens. All the Drag Race girls wear those, darling.
Yes. Yeah, no, but these were bio
These
chicks.
were real.
Oh.
These were real, darling.
Oh.
So I just want to say, like, some gratuitous T&A, and the women were beautiful.
Yeah.
But don't Ferengi women insist that don't Ferengis insist that their women not wear clothing?
Yes.
So why'd they have anything on?
They're not Ferengi women.
But they with the Ferengi overlords.
They couldn't be butt naked up in the public square.
Exactly.
I have been.
Exactly.
So, Booby, we're here with these Ferengi scamming, whatever they're getting out of these people, who knows? And Chakotay and Paris spook them. What happens?
They go up and they discuss this with Janeway. Do they go up?
Yes.
Yeah, they do go up.
She's like, but who's going to find my wormhole?
Yes.
I was like, can I be honest? I'm just going to say straight up, I hated this fucking episode.
I hated it so much.
And I hated it. I had to watch it in 6 installments because I kept falling asleep.
Oh my God. It was putting me to sleep too. It made me so sleepy.
This episode. I would only perk up when I heard the word wormhole. I'd be like, am I on Pornhub? What's happening?
I mean, but the thing is, right at the beginning, I saw Leslie Jordan's name, and I was like, oh, Leslie Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, oh, Leslie Jordan.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I liked it.
I liked how they kept on like having to sell their shoes. That was a cute little joke.
That was cute. By the way, the shoes weren't fab.
Joke. They weren't. They were very like pay less,
Very
$10.
Honey, around here you're gonna pay more.
Exactly,
Bitch, we don't sell cantaloupes out here. But they were serving us some cantaloupes in that underboob shot.
It was cantaloupes down. And it was like, but the shot was so like, it was looking straight up at the Ferengi.
Yeah.
But but ostensibly it was just to get the under boob. I want to say the director was Wine-Rich Colby. Yeah. And shame on you.
Shame on you. You know what? Let's start a campaign to cancel him or her. I'm going to speed this along because I hated this episode so much.
Okay.
So, Chakotay and Paris find the Ferengi, and then somehow Neelix dresses as a Ferengi.
That's why you hated it. As
the proxy to the Grand Nagus.
She was the Grand Proxy, darling.
The Grand Proxy.
And they did the Grand March, and she was the Grand
Proxy for the Grand Nagus.
For the Grand Nagus. But I also want to say, Neelix, who is often a bumbling character and often the comedic, little interlude for Voyager, comes in like perfect undercover spy. He's got his details straight. Yep. He understands the mythos of Ferenginar. I was like, Neelix wouldn't pull this off quite like this.
Sadly, Neelix was the best thing about it. Hi, Pee-wee, kitty cat. in the shot.
Pee-wee.
Neelix was the best thing. Oh, look at the kitty cat. I'm no Neelix stan, but he was the best thing in this damn episode, other than my fantasy of having a Bronze Age get-together with Paris and Chakotay, and I'll buy them shoes.
And then also a little side note, this morning I woke up and I turned on the television set, and it was an old episode of Benson with Robert Guillaume. And on that episode of Benson was Ethan Phillips, who plays Neelix,
Right.
and Renee Auberjonois, who plays Odo. They were series regulars on that show. And I was like, how funny. I'm having a completely Star Trek morning.
Okay.
You have to get into Avenue 5. Ethan Phillips is on that also.
Really?
It was that cruise ship in space comedy that was on that show.
I have the first 3 episodes, but I've never.
It's really funny.
Gotta get into them.
It's really funny.
Yeah. You guys need to get into Snowpiercer. I'm just saying it. It's so good.
Everybody loves it.
Oh my God.
So circling back, the Ferengis got here through a wormhole that one end is on the Alpha Quadrant and the other end plopped them in the Delta Quadrant. But
in
the Delta Quadrant side, it moves around. It's not stable. But Harry Kim, who needs to go home to be with his ugly ass bitch Libby and get his fucking clarinet lessons on point, he so wants to go home. And he's like, we're going to find that wormhole. And J-May's like, do it.
But he has a weird handsome moment. It's very weird. Like there's a moment where he's talking to the captain, and I was like, you know what, Garrett Wang looks kind of handsome here.
Did you want a Wang Chung tonight?
No. Everybody don't Wang Chung tonight.
No.
But I'm just saying he had like you know how like every once in a while you wake up and you have like a pretty day?
Yeah, he had a pretty day.
He was having a pretty day.
I think he was having a pretty day in the next episode, but we'll talk about that.
We'll get into it.
Yes.
We'll get into it. So Booby, not to rush this
through
along,
this.
Not to rush through this. Why don't you tell us what happens?
Well, the Grand Proxy, Neelix as the Grand Proxy goes down to the planet and pretends to be the Grand Proxy and tells them that they're going to be reassigned and that they need to leave the planet and they need to be charitable and thank the people. And then he leaves. He says, I'll be back in an hour. And he goes and gives out money to the poor people of the planet. While he's doing that, the 2 Ferengi discuss what they're going to do, what their plan is,
and set up a scattering field so that they can't be beamed back out.
Exactly, because they were originally beamed out, and
somehow convince Catherine that no, you got to leave us. Blah 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 blah.
I don't know how.
Because fucking shitty writing on a terrible episode.
Shitty writing. I was like, Catherine, I am disappointed in you.
Is it because the Ferengis are not part of the Federation?
It's
but
because
she had already discussed that she was logically, even Tuvok agreed she had every right to get them get those 2 Ferengi out of there in that situation because they were taking advantage of the people.
Considering all the risks that this woman has taken, just beam them out and put them in the brig. But no, we beamed them up to the ship twice. And for the 3rd time in Voyager history, security loses a prisoner on the way to the brig. It happened when Tom Paris turned into an amphibian. It happens in this episode.
Don't they knock somebody out?
They get knocked out. It's like, how bad is security on Voyager?
It's lax.
Yeah, and then mind you, listen, we're not discussing something. They find a wormhole. It's called the Denarin wormhole, if I'm not mistaken, and to take them back home.
Yep.
Fuck those 2 Ferengi.
Just go,
bitch.
Just go.
Yep.
And who gets to go? Oh.
So, a lot of technobabble, a lot of back and forth, a lot of bad fashions, a lot of Ferengi nonsense, and in the final analysis, what happens?
She beams them up, decides not to take them. Then they decide to go down there, and through all this ridiculous subterfuge, he beams them back up. The Ferengi escape security, get back into their shuttle, get drawn into the wormhole, send out some type of something that fucks up the wormhole. They get back to the Delta Quadrant, but Voyager is left behind.
Alpha Quadrant.
Back to the Alpha Quadrant, but Voyager is left behind. And also, this culture this culture on this planet is poisoned with the most poisonous, capitalistic, nasty, gross ethos. What do you do about that? It's just a tired episode of Voyager.
I think the ending was like what they call it like a Gilligan's Island ending. Like we almost got away or back home. Whoops,
Let's go
we're
back.
still stuck here. Wah wah, Professor and Marianne. Booby, I'm not going to put you on like a witness stand, but I want to know, why did you make us watch this episode?
I like Beverly Leslie.
And I will admit that
And I like
actually it's not so bad, because we actually had a little inside knowledge for the children out there. We had a failed shoot of Chakotay just recently when we tried to do a review of the episode Flashback that each one of us watched twice. That was my choice, that episode. It's the Sulu Grace Lee Whitney episode, and we couldn't even.
But you know what?
That episode was truly tired.
And
Booby, it's no thing, baby.
It's no thing. Girl, I ain't mad.
It ain't no thing.
Listen, it ain't no thing.
Flashback,
we love you.
Flashback of the shoot that we did squash. That episode had some redeeming qualities. This one, I felt like less alive after watching it. I felt less okay after watching it. Miss Booby.
Following episode, that's how I feel about the following episode.
Oh, well, then we're going to flip it around.
The following episode is so fierce.
But let's Miss Booby, please defend your choice. Tell us 3 things you love about this episode.
I love the Ferengi. I love the Neelix's take hold charge of the situation.
It was very take charge.
Yeah.
It was.
And Beverly Leslie.
It was Beverly Leslie.
Okay.
And a muted Beverly Leslie.
I think this is my least favorite episode of Voyager ever, followed closely by Matinga's choice that we killed called Flashback.
By the way, we keep on calling him Beverly Leslie, but his name is
Leslie Jordan. Sorry.
His name is Leslie Jordan. Yeah.
His name is Leslie Jordan Joyce Leslie.
Yes.
So, Booby, I respect your choice because it appealed to you, and who am I? It's so subjective that,
yes,
you like this episode. I hated this episode. I was happy to watch it on your behalf, even though I couldn't stay awake. But I'm going to give this episode 0 fire Chakotay.
Wow.
0, darling. I will say, if they were going to do something about, televangelists, religious scammers, fine. They just didn't do it well. 0.
I am going to give this episode 1.5 Leola root for Beverly Leslie.
Leslie Jordan.
For Leslie Jordan.
For Joyce Leslie.
For Joyce Leslie and
Yes.
only Joyce Leslie.
Yes.
Okay.
Booby.
I'm going to give it a 2.5.
Okay.
Yeah, it's I can agree that it wasn't the greatest of episodes, and I can see how you would give it a low score, but I liked it.
2.5, 1.5. That's 3, 4 divided by 3. This gets a 1.33.
It's probably the lowest scoring one we've ever
for
had.
certain.
Yeah,
Bitch, I gave it I chopped it completely.
But I truly like midway through, I had to have like a guarana energy drink because I was like, this is sapping the life out of me.
I literally fell asleep 6 times, and it's a 44-minute show.
Yeah.
But I got through it, and then watched the next episode, which is the second one we're covering today, called Remember.
It's called Remember.
Remember. And they tried to get the rights to the song Remember Me by Diana Ross for this, but it was way, way too pricey. By the way, did you know that she's 75?
What? Yeah.
Diana Ross, 75.
Get out of here.
She looked fine. She looked good.
Fat.
I sent you a picture of Gates McFadden a couple days ago. I think she's 73.
Cheryl?
And she looked good. She looked
Cheryl?
Beautiful. Why is her name Cheryl?
That's her real name.
Is that her real name?
Miss Thing, watch the first couple of episodes of Next Generation. She's credited as Cheryl Gates McFadden.
Really?
Miss Cheryl? Yeah.
Is that Miss Beverly Crusher?
Beverly Crusher.
And
Beverly Leslie.
Beverly Leslie Crusher?
Don't sleep. Gates McFadden, like
she
that
looked lovely.
That bitch is lovely, but that bitch is an actress. Like that bitch is doing like Ibsen
She's
And,
also
like,
a choreographer.
and a dancer.
She worked on The Dark Crystal, the original one, right?
as a
No.
puppeteer. Yes.
Yes, she did.
Yes, she did.
Yes.
She's very, very interesting.
Back
woman
when
with
she
an
was still called
interesting
Cheryl.
career.
Yeah.
Yes.
But Cheryl
Word.
isn't in this episode.
Cheryl's not in this episode.
No. So we're doing the episode called Remember, which is episode 6 of season 3.
I want to say that in this episode, just as a gay man, is the journeyman actor Bruce Davison,
Yes.
who is a fierce journeyman method actor who's been nominated for Oscars and Golden Globes, and of course was in Longtime Companion. And he's just a fierce
And the X-Men.
actor. And the X-Men, and like lots of things, actually.
Oh, he's been in a bazillion things. He's so good.
He was in Willard.
Right.
Willard, he was young.
Young.
Yeah.
Just a fierce journeyman actor.
Yeah.
So Remember is about, in a nutshell, basically mind rape
Yeah.
and
genocide.
So it's a real party starter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But once again, I want to point out we're way across the galaxy in the Delta Quadrant, and we come across a planet with humanoids that look totally human, except for some freckles, some bad hair, and a
Brillo pad.
and a Brillo pad hair and a head wrap. Now,
Right.
using that logic, every summer I'm an alien.
Yeah. And
'Cause I
every
need-
summer you get into some mind rape.
Yeah, because some freckles, a head wrap, and bad hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I want to say that
the head wraps would look like fishnet material.
Yes.
Like not fishnet stockings, literal fish netting, like on the
Right.
ocean.
Right.
Yes.
Bedazzled.
And like some very some cute little just
They look
freckles
whack.
right here. I want to say that whoever did the clothing design for this episode, bravo. Honey, the clothes were beautiful.
The clothes were nice. So
At
let's,
one point, Balana's wearing that
well,
leather
let's set
number.
it up. Let's set it up.
Yes.
So they have these an alien species called the Anaran,
Inarin.
and they're taking them from one mining colony back to their home planet
Correct.
for whatever reason. And I think they're having like a banquet, and someone's playing music on some weird bubble ukulele.
Yes.
And Captain Janeway's there with her hair down because it's a party, y'all.
Right.
Yes.
Wearing white.
Wearing white, darling,
Wearing
very much wearing
white.
white. And she wants to play this musical instrument, and somebody touches her back, and instantly she has the memories of this person's musical lessons, and she's able to play this instrument like an expert.
Right.
But we are jumping ahead, actually, because the episode actually opens with Balana having an erotic dream.
Right.
Like a full-on erotic dream.
With a lovely
With a
piece.
tasty motherfucker.
With
Lovely,
a,
lovely.
With a beautiful, lovely piece.
With
that is, by the way,
arms?
that is, by the way, Chip Eston, who is a famous comedian,
Isn't he a country singer?
Country singer. He was on Nashville. He played Deacon on Nashville. I sent you pictures of him as
He's
he looks
fucking
this
hot.
year. He's 54 this year, and he's still beautiful.
Really?
That man is a comedian.
What's
an
his name?
Actor. His name is Chip Eston. Take
Chip
a look at the
Eston.
pictures I sent you. He
He's
is
super
beautiful
hot.
still, and he's a member of the Grand Ole Opry.
I thought you
He's
would
like-
say he's a member of the Grand Nagus.
He's like a fierce fucking man.
Lovely.
That
He's
is him
really
this
hot,
year.
and he was
Yeah.
absolutely delicious in this episode.
And
the
he's
arms,
delicious here.
ooh, the muscles, bitch.
The back.
But
The
but
back?
the funny thing is, okay, so she's having an erotic dream, and like so she wakes. She's woken up by Chakotay because she's 20 minutes late for her shift. By the way, Chakotay
which I found
just
creepy.
he just
In her
walks in her apartment. He walks into her apartment without
Yeah.
and he wakes her
But
up.
she wouldn't wake up.
She wouldn't
Right.
wake up and say and she's like, she's taken aback a little bit, and she's like, I'm sorry, I was just having a dream, and let me just get dressed. And as she walks away from him, Roxanne Biggs Dawson has like this little smile on her
I
voice
saw that.
that is so lovely. It's like a little piece of character work. Like, honey, she is brand new.
Yeah.
She is brand new, darling. And then on the way to engineering, she finally fesses up to him, and she's like, you don't get it. these are the most erotic dreams of my whole life. They feel totally real. And fucking Robert Beltran is like looking at her like so, like they're friends.
Like living vicariously.
Like living vicariously. And at one point, like they're by like this little console and he's like looking down at her and he's enjoying her story and they're enjoying each other. It's a beautiful little character moment. And like he looks sexy as all get out.
I don't suppose you've been dreaming about anyone in particular.
Nobody you know. Actually, I mean, he's nobody I know either. In a way, it's liberating.
And he's like, yeah, girl, I saw the puddle in your bed.
And he's like, all right, just don't be late again. But so she thinks
and mind
she's
you,
having,
when he walks into her room, she is rocking her traditional maroon colored pajama jumpsuit thing.
but she has the pillow and she's like,
Like she's kind of holding it by her poonie.
yeah. she's like gasping.
Mm-hmm. Wouldn't you be?
Yeah, and but the thing is, she thinks she's just having a dream, even though the ship is filled with telepathic members of a race that you're having these incredibly realistic dreams of, where you're like living the life of this other person. And that's really kind of where the episode starts. And then we go to the party. I also want to say that Tom and Ensign Kim's suits are also freaking awesome.
I like that Bob noticed them.
Like they're in sort of like a formal dress for this occasion.
But they look good.
So is Neelix in his technicolored
Neelix.
In his technicolor dream coat.
Yeah. Neelix in his amazing technicolor dream coat, bitch. You know what I want to see is Chakotay's technicolor dream catcher, bitch. I bet you it tastes nice. Hey.
You know it's like kind of like a rainbow.
Honey, taste like the rainbow, bitch.
He's like,
venison.
Taste the rainbow.
That's what it tastes like.
Oh, dear. So, okay, so they're at the party with these telepathic aliens that they're just transporting who all look human. And Catherine Janeway gets, the mind, sort of a mind meld with this one
learns
creature.
how to play this instrument.
And get into Tuvok watching with stink eye from the side.
Well, he's security. He's security.
Yeah, but he's like, something ain't right about this. Something ain't right about. He's like, he doesn't trust him from the jump.
Yeah, and also Catherine is also giving you a sensual moment too. And when she comes out of it, she's like, oh, like it was too much.
She's like, that was much more intimate.
Yeah.
She's like, when we were bonded, could you see my pecan pie?
Exactly. But B'Elanna's only having dreams.
Right. Moist Klingon dreams, darling. With a really hot, tasty guy with great arms. I'd be like, yo, doctor, hook me up so I don't ever wake up because I like this. Okay. So as the story progresses, B'Elanna's dreams get more and more intense. The person who she is in this dream is having a fling with this hot guy. Clearly, she's from one caste on a planet. He's from another caste on a planet. And her father in the dream world is some big muckety muck. And
that's the Bruce Davison character.
And it's starting to unnerve her because it's so real.
Well, because it goes from erotic dreams to telling the story telling the story of like one caste is very technologically advanced, also kind of germophobic. And the other one reminds me of maybe like a Mennonite type culture. They don't want to deal with technology. They're a little bit more agricultural and a little bit, and the muckety mucks look down on them. So they are being relocated to another place on the planet, or maybe another planet, or at least that's what it seems like. So the daughter, B'Elanna is the daughter in the dream, and she's part of the muckety muck caste, and then she's in love with one of the more agricultural ones, and of course it's like a star-crossed kind of things. But it becomes far more sinister as it starts to go along. She starts to realize that quite possibly something darker may be going on and orchestrated by her father.
Can we circle back to the party for 1 second? Matinga, you mentioned that the muckety muck, I don't even remember what, the Anarans, the straight up Anarans.
The muckety muck Anarans.
That they're germophobic.
Yeah.
And at the party, Neelix shows Chakotay these like disinfecting metal balls.
But they're Benoit balls.
They're Benoit balls.
That's what they're Benoit balls.
Like, So
Yeah.
and Chakotay's sitting there like, you
Like,
know,
he's like,
with these
yeah.
antiseptic electronic metal balls. And I was like, Chakotay, you need some places. You want to store those someplace.
Because you know they ended up in Neelix's booty.
Ooh,
Down.
bitch.
Disinfect this.
Disinfect this motherfucker. So
Disinfect this wormhole.
So as it goes along, it becomes clear that someone or something or some entity is implanting these memories / dreams into B'Elanna's consciousness
Yes.
for some reason that we don't know. And everyone else is kind of like, oh, maybe she's crazy. We don't know.
Investigate.
But let's investigate.
Let's investigate.
And, you know, she had been getting along great with the Anaran engineer who's on board, this blonde chick
who's totally into Harry.
Who's totally into Harry. A side story I could have totally lived without. It went nowhere.
Yeah, but Harry is also having kind of a cute day.
Yes, when he comes over in the engineering room, and they call him over, he looked cute.
And there's an old lady Anaran in engineering also. And when Harry suggested they all go out to get something to eat, and the old lady's like, oh, young people, you'll do fine without me. And she goes to bed. And B'Elanna catches the drift that Harry and this chick want to be alone. And she's like, no, go without me. And honey, they book.
They book.
They're like,
no,
bye.
Like, oh, but you couldn't have asked me twice? Like, she's so put out.
I thought that was a pretty funny moment.
Yeah.
So B'Elanna does get a comedy beat. But overall, she's being traumatized by these dreams, which show in this society how the regressives, as they're called, are being repatriated. They're being forced into it, but she's in love with this one regressive dude, and her father is basically a high muckety muck who doesn't like the regressives, and her loyalties are torn, but the fashions are on point. Take it, Matinga.
The fashions are on point. So then she finally has one dream towards the end of the episode.
Take the fashions, darling.
Oh my God. The fashions in this episode, whoever did the clothing for, I actually looked to find out. Honey, at one point,
it was Montana.
Miss Claude Montana.
No,
Claude Montana.
It's Marie.
Just Marie. It was Marie Montana.
Darling.
But first of all, the suits that Harry and Paris wear, beautiful white suit on Catherine, the beautiful leather outfit on, it's like a teal all leather jumper on B'Elanna. Like the craftsmanship, those were clothes that I would wear to a dinner.
Yeah.
Like the suit on Paris, even though it was kind of like it's kind of a maroon color, which isn't really my color. That suit was fucking killer, man.
Yeah.
Like and the
B'Elanna
leather
had
work,
the best outfit though.
Yeah, and you know, like and all of the Anarans were rocking beautiful clothes. Beautiful clothes.
Except for their goddamn seaweed handy wipe head wraps.
Oh my God, the head wraps had to go, darling.
They were really, bitch.
But
don't give me Dollar General drag.
Often on Voyager, they're always wearing the same thing, and then a lot of the times, like the aliens are wearing ugly things, like Neelix. Occasionally, they put Miss Cass in something cute, but you know, for this episode, honey, and then also I thought that the production design was giving me like a dry Santa Fe with all these arches. I thought like whoever did the design on this episode, thank you.
They did a good job.
A little bit of Tatooine almost.
And a little, because it was very dry, arid kind of feeling.
Which makes me think if it's so dry and it looked hot, why are they wearing leather?
Although it would explain the hair.
Maybe it looked like leather, but it felt like suede.
Looks like a pump, feels like a sneaker.
Trust.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I described my hole.
Hello.
Oh.
Looks like a dump.
looks like a sneaker. Really, it's just a dump.
It's just a dump.
Oh my God, that dump looks like a sneaker.
So, oh my God, there's a sneaker in that dump.
So comfortable.
You could pay less, but around here, you're going to pay more.
You got to pay more, darling.
I see Matinga patrolling up and down the street like she got something to sell. Bitch, we don't sell cantaloupes out here.
Oh my God, she went and got her teeth done. My God, she looks like a goddamn horse.
Bitch.
Sugarfoot.
You ain't eating corn, bitch. All right, so, Sugarfoot. Okay, so, Sugarfoot, Miss Booby.
Yeah.
What is happening with these dreams with B'Elanna? What's going on?
She's starting to feel like she's having to choose between her lover and her father.
And her loyalty to her military unit,
Cast.
blah, 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 to her cast. Yeah.
Because doesn't she get like a citizenship award and she gets into the academy or whatever?
Exactly.
She's becoming part of the machine.
And I love the little interlude she had with her lover,
Mm.
where in the alley where she's like, "What would you do to me if you could touch me?"
And he's like, I put a sneaker in that dump.
Yeah. Trust. Well, that sounds more like my dates.
Honey, if I saw him in an alleyway, Miss Chip,
Oh.
what's his name? Eston?
Chip
Eston.
Eston, yeah.
Honey, I'm in the mood for some chips, bitch. Give it to me.
But
Dip and chip.
Miss
Chip,
Roxanne,
motherfucker.
Miss Roxanne, who a lot of episodes, she plays an important part in a lot of episodes, but there aren't a lot of episodes that are solely about her.
Mhm.
And this one's kind of about her. And
She's the whole show.
She holds the center of it really well. Really well. Some nice character moments. I really appreciated her performance here.
And
her little
couldn't you
smile
tell
at
the
the beginning.
difference? Couldn't you tell the difference between when she's Roxanne Dawson as B'Elanna and Roxanne Dawson as this other person?
Rena?
Yeah.
Was her name Rena?
Corina.
Like there were subtle differences.
There were subtle differences. She was freer.
She was.
It was a freer performance.
Because she's
Younger.
a younger,
Yeah.
different person in love with a hot motherfucker.
I was jealous.
I was so jealous. I'd be
Yeah,
like,
the
send the
man-
rest of them to be recolonized, but daddy, I want this one here.
Also,
Let me
at some
keep
point, hopefully, like, throw up that picture of Chip Eston today. He's 54, and honey, he's even fiercer.
No,
Yeah.
but him being involved in country music and the Grand Ole Opry, it does give me a little pause because I generally don't trust country people. And now since I'm surrounded by them, so I don't know what his political affiliations are,
But I know you love
but
country
I would
music.
do it. I
Oh
would
my
do
God,
it.
that
Do it,
man,
do it,
honey.
Do it to the music. Oh, Chip, honey. I want to
Deacon on Nashville. He's still
Honey,
really, really good.
chip
So-
off the old cock, bitch.
So he plays Dathan, and towards the end of the episode, B'Elanna finally is given the last set of memories by the dying Corina. And in that particular dream, he comes after having escaped being shipped out. He comes to Corina, B'Elanna, at night and tells her,
It
"I
comes at
believe
night.
muesli,
Beastly. Yeah. Ghastly.
at Ghastly, and
Yeah.
says to her, you know, we aren't being relocated. I've sent family members 2 months ago. We haven't heard from them. There is a theory that people are being exterminated, vaporized. They are being sent to nowhere. And she is clearly, she wants to believe him, but she's not sure. And then her dad knocks on the door and he hides in the closet. And the dad, who is Bruce Davidson, plays with her mind and actually is able to convince her that he may be trying to lead her astray.
Mhm.
And she gives him up to the father, who has him executed in the town square.
And it's gruesome.
It's gruesome. And it's true. These people are being sent to nowhere. This episode is about the genocide of a native culture. It's dark. It's really dark.
And so the reason that the old lady from engineering is implanting these memories in B'Elanna on the down low is that she doesn't want the truth
To
die
die
with
with
her.
her.
Because
Yeah.
she's old and nobody else
Yeah.
is talking about it. It's like buried history. And she gives the memories to B'Elanna, knowing B'Elanna's a bit of a hothead who's going to investigate it and preach it, the truth.
And then someone murders Corina. One
Someone
of the
murders the old
her.
lady. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And
And-
B'Elanna busts up into another party and is like spilling the tea on what's been going on. And
The
big
muckety
fat-
muck.
The big fat
On the
muckety-muck
muckety mucks,
is
who
like,
I believe is the
"Nuh-uh."
one who had her killed. And
I
he's like,
believe so,
he's
too.
like, us? Oh, we would never.
This is
Right.
becoming awkward.
Yeah.
Captain,
Exactly.
really?
You know,
Oh,
and
Captain,
the captain
Say it isn't so.
Say it isn't. Oh my, Captain.
Oh my.
You tried to hide what you did, but I know. I saw everything. The regressives, the executions, wiping out an entire population and then blaming them for it.
This is most uncomfortable, Captain.
And the captain's caught between a political rock and a hard place. She cannot interfere in this culture. Like, if this culture wants to hide genocide,
And there's
it's
no
going to hide
proof.
genocide. and there's no real proof. And by the way, you know, the American culture has hidden or tried to suppress genocide. Of the Native American Indian, of Native Americans, and slavery, and so this is shit that happens.
So,
you
Booby,
know?
how does the episode end?
It ends with Catherine Janeway telling B'Elanna that there's really nothing that they can do, that the doctor didn't find any signs of foul play, and that they were dropping off the Anarans at their planet. They weren't going to have shore leave. They weren't going to trade with them. They weren't doing anything with them because of these memories that B'Elanna was reciting. And but she said, but she could go, she recommended that B'Elanna go and speak to the whatever Anarans she could before they were departing off the ship.
To share the story.
To share the story and see who maybe she might be able to convince one of them to actually listen.
Right. And she goes to the blonde bitch that had liked it, Harry Kim.
Had liked it him.
She had liked it him, and she tells her, "Why don't you read my thoughts, bitch? Read my read my thoughts,
right?
And
read
learn
my lips.
and learn it for yourself." And so the blonde bitch puts her hand up on her back, all up on her back, and she reads her thoughts to see that, and in essence, she is the one that's having the love affair with the lovely piece.
Right.
Yes.
So then she takes on the memories of the old
memories,
lady, and she
exactly.
relives the whole thing just like B'Elanna did.
Exactly.
With the presumption that she's going to go back to the planet and share this with everybody.
Right.
And the presumption is that she's going to do that, but it's not necessary that people are going to believe her.
Right.
Either.
But remember, she can share those memories.
She can share the memories.
Memories don't lie.
Memories don't lie, darling. So, and now everyone's going to get a piece of that fine chip guy.
Yes.
You know what? If you're going to share a memory, make it that one.
Share that one. Because you know
honey,
what? You know what? He had his headband and his bad hair, but honey, that little dimple right there. Oh,
and then take off the shirt.
Those arms.
Lovely.
I was like, oh my God, bitch.
Beautiful, man. And you know what? Fierce actor, fierce comedian, fierce singer.
Who cares? He's hot. So
hot.
This episode, maybe it was about the genocide of Native Americans. Maybe it was a Holocaust analogy. Maybe it was a twisted Romeo and Juliet story. There are so many different things you can take away from this episode. But it was dark.
As opposed to the last episode, superior writing.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Superior writing.
Well, I was invested in what happened.
Yeah.
I was invested in what happened. I thought that the delineation between quote unquote reality and her dream memories was very clear and equally as valid. So we were inside B'Elanna's mind reliving these memories. The rest of the crew didn't have access to that. So you could see that maybe they were a little bit like, I don't know. Although I will say that Tuvok all along had that one arched eyebrow, like something fucked up going on. Like Tuvok was down. Also because maybe he's a telepath and he was sensing some kind of shenanigans. Some kind of mind games.
But, just a little nerdy thing here. So they chose B'Elanna, right? But wouldn't you choose either Kes, Boric, or Tuvok because they are telepaths already?
But maybe telepath to telepath, it would have gotten muddied or twisted, or they would have been resistant. Who knows?
Or been able to resist the memory rights.
Right.
Right.
I like this episode. I'm gonna give this episode a solid 3.25 fire Chakotays. And most of that is for Roxanne Dawson and the hot guy and the bubble ukulele instrument I thought was amusing.
I'm gonna give it 4 Leola root for Bruce Davison, Chip Eston, Roxanne Biggs Dawson, and compelling writing.
And Booby, you didn't feel it.
I'm going to give it a 2. All for Chip.
Oh, hey.
Okay.
All for Chip.
Booby, tell everyone why you did not love this episode.
It was depressing.
Oh.
It was a downer.
It was
a little bit depressing. Of a downer.
It's a downer.
And B'Elanna's going off, she's always going off on somebody.
She's so angry.
Yo, she's such an angry
She's
bitch.
so angry still.
Yeah.
But her anger was used to good use. It was put to good use
True.
because somebody
Was
like,
but was it put to good use at the time that she did it?
but no, but that's B'Elanna. And listen, if she had done this quietly in a little side room, maybe nothing would have happened.
Right.
You know, I mean, it was getting rather awkward, Captain.
Right.
Yeah.
But, but once again, 2 episodes where in a row where they come across humanoids that look like human beings. I do think that is just a hint lazy for a sci-fi show. Give me something. Give me something more than like, dry hair and a headband, please.
Right. Right.
Give me some webbed feet. For Christ's sake, I was born with webbed feet. You can make that happen.
Hello, you can make it happen.
Yeah.
So we got a 4, a 2, and a 3.25. What is that? 6, 9.2. So this gets a 3.1 overall rating in our system here on Fire Chakotay.
Which is middle of the road.
Which is middle of the road to okay, because Miss Booby was depressed by this episode, and although to be fair, I gave Booby's Choice a 0.
We totally downed Booby's Choice.
We trashed Booby's Choice, okay. But you know what? Every viewpoint is valid as long as we all agree that Chip Eston is tasty.
Yes.
He was that Roxanne Dawson was like, can we
I will
take
gladly
that scene
do
again?
that. Yes.
She's like, yeah, the lighting was weird. Can we reshoot it?
Yeah. So
my wig was off.
My wig was off.
They threw me a bone for this one. And also at one point I took a very clear look. Someone was very careful with her eyebrows this episode. They went for pretty. She's got a cute arch. They're not Groucho Marx. Like they were like, let's try and make B'Elanna pretty.
It's more Richard Marx.
Or it was a little Richard Marx. Yeah. Actually, the hair on the Anarans, very Richard Marx.
If you are enjoying the content we are putting out there, please feel free to hit us up on Patreon and or Venmo. We are Workshop, WERQSHOP Workshop.
Also, on whatever platforms you happen to be listening to us on, rate and review us highly, please. It does make a difference.
5 stars, darling. 5 stars across the board.
All fall down.
All fall down. All fall down.
Papaya.
Used to wake up at night, feeling too lonely. Before I knew you were something horny.
As this episode goes crashing down into some bad 5-style. Okay, well, this is Fire Chakotay. Be sure to tune in next week. I am Mike Diamond.
This is Miss Matinga.
And this is Booby.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Papaya.
Bolero. Who is that? Is that Color My Love?
I think that's Mel and Kim,
5-star.
Isn't it?
No.
What?
Bolero.
Bolero.
Don't they also do Color My Love or Colorblind Love?
You're singing Mel and Kim. You're singing
Me?
5-star. Yeah.
Right.
You're singing Mel and Kim. You're singing 5-star.
Mel and Kim. Take. Leave
us, baby.
A Lima.
I love the Lima.
My pussy never gonna be respectable.
Respectable.
Now, so Mel and Kim is not 5-star, who are not the Jets.
Right.
Honey,
but they were around at the same time.
Yeah. I never told you found out.
Have you seen them now?
Crush on, still
They
rocking.
still perform. They still rock.
Perform. Yeah.
You know,
Tonga.
The first, I believe it was the first Filipino act to ever have like big hits. Tongan. They were Tongan.
And,
yeah.
Oh, that's a very different thing, Tony.
Very different. Excuse me. I'm sorry.
And also, 2 facts about them you might not know. They're Mahu Mahu, and they're on tour with Chip Eston.
Oh, could you imagine?
Would you go see Chip Eston with the Jets?
Oh my God, I would go see him by himself.
If you could, is there a list?
Is there a list, darling?
Is there a list?
Is there a wormhole? Okay. You've been listening to Fire Chakotay.
Charles, my name is on the list.
What list?
The DJ's list.
Miss
Thing, there is no guest list tonight. Oh.
Oh.